Do you want to learn about wholesaling real estate? Well, you've come to the right place. If you don't know who I am, I'm Jeremy Beeland, and I have grown multiple seven-figure markets. And since 2017, I have successfully closed well over 400 off-market deals. I specialize in teaching high-level acquisition skills that empower individuals just like yourself to achieve remarkable success in acquiring off-market properties directly from sellers. How hard is it to wholesale real estate? Well, guess what? It's easy and it's hard. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's easy enough that anybody can do it, but it's hard enough that most people won't succeed at it. And I'm going to give you a crazy analogy. It's like marathon training and becoming a marathon runner. I know, very weird, right? But let's face it, most people can physically run a marathon. It's easy enough where everybody knows how to do it, right? You just have to run, right? That's all it takes, right? It's hard because you have to run really far and a really long time. You have to train to it. That's kind of what like wholesaling is. So it's easy enough where anybody can do it. You don't have to be, a high school graduate. I'm not. You don't have to be a college graduate. I'm not. You don't have to be a rocket scientist, right? You don't have to be an engineer. You don't have to be a master salesperson. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be, you could be poor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what religion you are. That's the cool thing, right? And it's easy enough where anybody can learn how to become wholesaler. But it's hard because it requires a lot of self-discipline. And this is why it's a lot like marathon training, right? So if you think about what it takes to run a marathon, right? You can learn about how to run a marathon by watching YouTube videos, right? There's a lot of great content out there, free online. It'll teach you that, hey, you need to run X amount of miles, the X amount of days per week. And you have to do that for X amount of weeks, and then you can run a marathon, right? Most people, if you've never run before, will do what's called a couch to a 5K. 5K is just 3 miles. A marathon is 26, right? So they start running very basic stuff, run, walk, until they get to a point where they can successfully complete a 3-mile road race all by themselves. You can learn about that free online. And then as you get better, you may say, I want to do a 10K, which is 6 miles, or a half marathon, which is 13 miles, right? You want to progress to a marathon, which is 26 miles. Really, anybody can run a marathon at this point, right? I know there's some physical limitations for some people, but we've seen a lot of people with a lot of physical limitations still be able to complete a marathon. It's easy enough where anybody can complete a marathon, but it's hard enough to think of how hard it is to train for that. So if you're running for a marathon, you have to have the self-discipline to run every single day, almost every single day. You're going to run warm days, cold days, rainy days, days when you're sick, days when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you're late for work, when you stay late for work, where there's family obligations, there's financial distress, whatever your case is, you have to find a way to run your training runs every single day, right? And it could just be a basic run. So you learn on YouTube how to run a marathon. And it's, hey, for the next 6 months, you have to run 5 days a week. And on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're going to run on this many miles per day. And on Saturday, you're going to do a long run, which is this, right? And you have to be fully committed to that. So you have to be so committed that every single day of that program, you're going to say, no matter what, I'm going to run today. I know there's going to be days I don't want to. There's going to be days where I have to eat healthy to do it. There's going to be days where I can't go out and hang out with my friends or play video games or go to the local game or go to a concert or watch some sporting events on the weekend because I'm fully committed to running this marathon. That's what it takes to be a wholesaler. You have to be that kind of committed, right? So now it's just 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That's easy. But where it really gets tough is after a month or 2 months of doing this every single day. and your body's tired, you're sore, you're banged up, you're sick of running, your shoes are uncomfortable, you have blisters, right? You have shin splints, you're rolling, you're taking ice baths, you're taking salt baths, you're finding out what food is, works for your stomach and what foods don't, right? You have to overcome all these things to get better so you can go out the next day and run again. Because the only way to complete a marathon is to keep moving forward, even though you're getting punched backwards by all these things that are preventing you from moving forward. You have to fight your way through all these challenges to get better. So you keep moving forward. And then that's why it's tough, right? Month 1, it's tough. Month 2 is tougher. Month 3 is really hard. Now you have to get out to 6 months, right? But eventually, if you have the self-discipline to overcome all those challenges each and every day, and you wake up with the mindset, I am going to do whatever it takes today to get my training run in and run those miles because I want to run the marathon. Then in 6 months, you will run the marathon. It may not be the greatest time in the world, but you will complete it. And it's an amazing feeling. Now, let's see how that relates again to being a wholesaler in real estate, right? So there's going to be a lot of times that you're going to have to talk to people. And you have to get up every day and say, who am I going to talk to today that I could get a property under contract to wholesale today? Every single day has to have that mindset. And you have to work it into your schedule no matter what. Whether you have to wake up early before work, you have to go on appointments after work, you have to make phone calls at lunch, you're going on appointments on the weekend, you're not hanging out with friends, you're not going out to dinner, you're not going to the sporting events, you're not, watching the big games on Sundays, you're not doing any of that because all you can think about is, what can I do today to get a property under contract, right? And you have to sacrifice things. And there's going to be a lot of days where you're sick. You're tired. You're mad at life. You're mad at your boss. You're mad at your significant other, right? There's going to be these challenges that keep saying, it's okay. You can take today off. It's okay. You can't. There's going to be other challenges saying, don't worry about today. Take today off. Take tomorrow off. Just take the weekend off. Matter of fact, just take a week off. That's fine. Take a week off. But you're going to lose momentum, right? And what happens is that 1 week will turn into 2 weeks, right? Sometimes when you're marathon training, you may have to take a week or 2 off, but you have to get right back on the horse, right? If you have an injury or get sick, to keep going. And a lot of people don't have the self-discipline to overcome those challenges each and every day because it's boring. It's hard. It's monotonous. It's not glamorous like social media makes it, right? You're doing, who wants to talk to people all day, every day? That's not fun. A lot of people are being rude to you, right? You're going into houses. A lot of the houses are smelly, gross, and you get out of there and you want to take off all your clothes, right? That's what being a wholesaler is. And you have to keep doing that over and over and over and over again. People telling you no, 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 no. And you have to keep saying, well, I'm one no closer to a yes. I'm another no closer to a yes. But when you're hearing all those no's, you get unmotivated. You lose, motivation to wanting to move forward with it. You lose the attention span. You get frustrated. You feel like, does this even work for me? That's being a wholesaler. The reality is, being a wholesaler is hard because you're going to have a lot of gut check moments. There's going to be a lot of times where motivation is only going to carry you so far, but it's going to be discipline to get up and do it every day regardless, because the end result is going to happen. So 95% of people will fail at being a wholesaler. Not because they don't know how, or they don't have the money or the resources. They don't have the self-discipline. 95% of people who want to run a marathon never will, because only 5% really have the self-discipline to put in the effort every single day to achieve what it takes to run 26 miles. And being a successful wholesaler is what it takes to achieve 26 miles, right? Running a marathon is hard. And when you complete it, it's an awesome, 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 awesome achievement. I've done it. It's amazing. I've run 2 of them. But being a wholesaler and then closing deals consistently is an amazing achievement in itself. And when you get that first deal, the power of belief is like, holy mackerel, this happens. I can do this. This is amazing, right? And then that motivation will get you going again. But it's going to require self-discipline, not to get your first deal, but your second deal and all your deals after. All the people that you see that are successful in real estate, then they're not any better than you. They don't talk any better than you. They're not better at sales than you. They don't have any more money than you. They weren't smarter than you. They weren't more educated than you. They weren't more talented than you. They just had self-discipline to keep moving forward every single day, whether they wanted to or not. That's what it takes. Now, another thing to realize is typically with coaching, and if you're experienced and know what you're doing, it can still take 90 to 120 days to get your first deal. And that's with you doing outbound marketing every single day or week, right? Whether you're sending thousands of mailings out every week or you're making phone calls every day, right? So most people who do outbound cold calling, I know cold calling is very sexy, but it's really hard. You could be cold calling for 60 to 90 days, right? So 2 to 3 months, 3 to 4 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week before you get your first deal. Now think about how disciplined you need to be to achieve that. You're going to get on the phone 3 to 4 hours a day, having people tell you no, 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 no. Day after day. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, month 1, month 2. Now you've been in for 8 weeks, right? 8 times 6, 48 days times 3 hours, 150 hours of people telling you no, stop calling me, I'm not interested. Until you find the one person that says, yes, I need to sell my house. And that person may make you $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. But do you have the self-discipline to do 150 hours of people telling you, no, lose my number, I don't care who you are, don't ever call me again, day after day? Because that's the kind of self-discipline it takes to really be successful. So, and then on top of that, it's going to take you a whole year of grinding and fighting your way through to build something amazing. It takes a year, 12 months of 100% commitment and self-discipline to build the foundation of something incredibly amazing. If you can work on getting, doing the marketing and generating leads and going on appointments, and it may take you 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months to get your first contract, but you'll build that momentum and start building that database of follow-ups to get to a point where at 12 months, you're going to start getting new deals that come in, but you're going to be nurturing all your follow-ups and your cold leads from back in the day that you've been working on for the previous 12 months. And all this stuff starts to come together. You start to build this great momentum. So as you go into year 2, you have this foundation of knowledge, experience, and a database of leads that you've been working that are all going to start to come to fruition. And then something magical happens. You just take off to another level. But it takes a year to build the foundation. Now, after that, you still have to be self-disciplined. Just like if you're a marathon runner, right? If it's going to take you 6 months, maybe 12 months to run your first marathon. But what if you want to get better at running marathons? Well, you can't just say, well, I'm just going to go do another one, right? You have to start training again and have the self-discipline. And now you have to find new techniques and new ways to get faster. I need to start adding speed training in, hill training, weight training in, right? I need to get better shoes and learn how to get better. Same thing with wholesaling. You're going to need to learn how to get better. What marketing channels work? How do I get better at the sales side of things? How do I overcome objections? How do I get these properties at a greater discount? How do I sell to better buyers for more money, right? You need to learn these skills. And hiring a coach can help you expedite the success in both of those things, right? You can learn how to run a marathon without using a coach. But if you hire a coach from day one, they have the skills and expertise to tell you, hey, I can get you to run a much faster marathon in 6 months than you doing it on your own, because you don't know what you don't know. But I can teach you all the techniques. Yes, you have to pay me, but I am going to teach you all the techniques to success, all the things to do, all the things to not do, and I'm going to save you a lot of headaches, a lot of time, and a lot of effort so you can get to success a lot faster. Well, hiring a coach in real estate is the same thing. They can get you to your first deal a lot faster because they know all the things that you don't know. how to overcome objections, what marketing channels to do, right? How to handle an incoming lead, how to talk to a seller, what happens when a seller's ghosting you, how to handle getting a price at a lower reduction, how to build your buyers list, what kind of buyers you should have, what zip codes you should be focused on, right? All those things you can learn from a coach much faster than doing it on your own. So you have to invest money into a coaching, yes, but it can get you to success a lot faster. So you can learn how to wholesale by watching YouTubes, reading books, and everything else, which is amazing, and you should, and always be a perpetual student. More importantly, you have to take action, right? And you will get to a point after 12 months of doing all that stuff and applying everything you're learning through YouTube's books and Facebook and social media and things like that. You'll get to a point in 12 months you've done something great. Or you can hire a coach and you will be much further ahead in 12 months than you were, right? It's just a matter if you want to invest that kind of money to save that time and effort. Everybody's situation is a little different. If you want to run a super fast marathon, well, you can learn how to run a marathon yourself, or you can invest in a coach that's going to get you to achieve a much better result. I know it's really weird to talk about marathon training and running a marathon to wholesaling, but they're so similar because it takes so much self-discipline. It takes time to achieve that result. It's easy enough that anybody can do it, but it's hard enough where most people won't. That's basically what it comes down to. But if you can find the self-discipline to take actionable steps, massive and perfect action, don't let analysis paralysis stop you from achieving results. You should be a student, right? Learn as much as you can, but you have to do the things that you're learning. Don't just learn and don't take action because you're afraid of failure. Fail forward. Please, fail forward. Make those mistakes. It's okay. If you have the ability to invest in a coach, then I highly recommend you invest in a coach. It's going to save you more money in the long run, save you a lot more time, and it's going to get you to success. The hard thing about real estate, being a wholesaler, is most people will never make it to 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months to get that first deal, to get the power of belief, right? Especially when they're doing it on their own. Even with a great coach, it can still take 3 to 4 months to get your first deal. And you always have that self-doubt. I don't know if I can do this, but I promise you, you can. You can. Anybody can. You just have to have the self-discipline. So how hard is it to wholesale real estate? It's not that hard, but it's hard enough where most people won't succeed. But I believe that you have the self-discipline to do this. Do you? Wow, that was a great video. I hope you found that information valuable. Please make sure you subscribe for more content just like this. And if you're looking to take your off-market acquisitions to the next level, well, then I invite you to check out the link in the description. It's a very valuable resource where I share how my coaching program can help you master acquisition skills and achieve exceptional results in your real estate ventures so you can build a world of REI freedom